Okay guys, so after posting a video concerning the new developments coming from the Canadian government, whereby caregivers can easily secure their PR through that route, a lot of people were like, so when is it starting and how can I apply and all that? So guys, I called RRCC myself immediately after the release, within 24 hours. So when I called RRCC, they took my UCI number and they had some personal questions before they started, or they allowed me to ask my questions. So I wanted further clarification, right? Because when you should Google the caregivers PR pathway thing, you could realize that there are two main routes through this caregiver thing that is already existing, and with that you need 12 months working experience, right? But with the information with the release that came from the minister was like, this is something that you can secure immediately after entering Canada if you're a caregiver and you've secured and you meet the other four main requirements. So I was kind of confused. So when I called them for the clarification, the lady was like, all right, so this information was released less than 24 hours, yeah, and that she personally too do not have further information, but I should be rest assured that within this month the minister will again come back to give further clarification about how we can go about the whole thing. But mind you, in the information that was released from the minister, he was emphatic that that is something that a new immigrant, meaning those now coming to Canada or those already existing in Canada that meet the four main criteria, are eligible to receive their PR immediately, or they were like as soon as possible, right? Okay, so meaning that there's going to be an update on RCC's website, so we shouldn't fully, she was like, I shouldn't ignore the one already existing, but I should also follow the criteria that RCC minister mentioned or made mention of. All right, and she again said that as I am waiting, as we are waiting for the new developments from RCC, we can take advantage of that to also make sure we meet the four main criteria. Now, there are two main criteria out of the four that I think we all should start working towards it as we are waiting for the effective date this new PR pathway for caregivers will be taking effect. Now, the number one has to do with rewriting the CLB exam. Now, the CLB exam is a broad exam something. It's a broad something, right? It has sub exams beneath. All right. So when one should Google exams under CLB, you find 5 main exams under the CLB. Now, the first exam happens to be the CELPIP. The CELPIP exam, that's what I have registered for Candy to write because I've heard it's so cool and easy. And then number 2 is IELTS. And I know this IELTS is common for a lot of international or a lot of immigrants or a lot of international students or those outside Canada, especially the nurses. A lot of people wrote the IELTS purposely to travel to the UK to practice their nursing and all that. So the IELTS or the IELTS is one of them. The number 2 is the PTE exam. The number 4 is TEF exam, and number 5 is TCF exam. So these are the 5 main exams that are under the CLB. And the minister was like, you should get the minimum of level 4. For instance, with the CLB, when I was registering for Candy, I think I'm on the score. The lowest was 4. And that was what the minister was talking about, that the lowest you should get among these exams, all the exams is 4. So you should write just one of them. And when you pass that, you should be good to go, or you should be fine. And the other eligibility was about we making sure that our education or our degree is equivalent to the Canadian high school diploma standard, right? So how do you do that? Now, the Canadian government has authorized 5 main organizations to be evaluating immigrants' documents or degree to make sure that it meets the Canadian standard. Yeah. So for us not to relax and wait till the effective day before we rush in doing things, why don't we start these things now? Why don't we start writing the exam or prepare towards writing the exam? Because the exam is something that you have to learn for a couple of weeks before you write, right? And also in converting our degree to the Canadian standard. It's something that's going to take time, right? So why don't we start that now? Now, when I googled organizations authorized to evaluate immigrants' degree to the Canadian standard, right? 5 main organizations came. When you Google that, you'll find a hyperlink that will lead you to RCC's official website. So that was what I did, and I got these main organizations from RCC's website. Now, the first one was Comparative Education Service, University of Toronto School of Continuing Studies, and the second one was International Credential Assessment of Service Canada. That was what I used for Candy. And the third one was World Educational Service. The fourth one is International Qualification Assessment Service. And the fifth one is International Credential Evaluation Service, British Columbia Institute of Technology. So these are the 5 main organizations that are approved to be evaluating immigrants' degree to meet the Canadian standard. So why don't we start doing these 2 main things as we wait for the effective date and how to go about applying for this new PR pathway for caregivers in Canada. So this is something I want to share with you guys. So thank you so much. Please follow me on TikTok and follow me on YouTube for more educational videos. And stay tuned because I'm always monitoring our sister's website. So immediately the minister release a new information about this caregiver PR pathway, trust me, I'll update you guys. So please follow me to get updated. Thank you. Bye.